What's up everyone, Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. Here I have a Remo Hobby Monster Truck. You might not have heard of it. I didn't hear of it until not too long ago. It looked cool. I went on their website and they have some fantastic cars, so I thought I would like to try it out and see how it actually stacks up to the competition. Stick around in the video to see what you get. So what do we have? It's a 1/8 scale, 2.4 gigahertz, 4-wheel drive, brushless monster truck. It is waterproof. It does have all ball bearings throughout, and the twin differentials are hardened steel CNC machined gears, which is very nice. It does have obviously high performance nylon oil filled shocks with, I think it does have a alloy cap, which is cool. Grippy rubber tires, rugged nylon plastics and stuff, so it's got a bit of flex, not very brittle. It's got a Lipo battery, which is awesome. It's got a brushless motor, 2.4 gigahertz radio, oil filled shocks, integrated shock guards, adjustable alloy slipper clutch, and front and rear hardened steel center drive shaft hub. What I want to note is it does have a waterproof Hobby wing brushless ESC. Now Remo Hobby I haven't really heard of much, but some of their cars look very good and very similar to Traxxas cars. So here's some of the other ones in their fleet. They have a fair few others as well. This particular one's awesome, the Evo R. Hopefully be getting this one day. This is very nice, but digress, that's for another video maybe. And nothing much on this side. Let's get her open. First and foremost, instruction manual. Everyone needs these, right? Even if we don't read them, it's still nice to have, I guess. So what we get here, we've got an instruction manual for the radio system. Some nice tools here. Some spare body clips, Allen keys, little wrench, and I think maybe this is a tool to tightening up the slipper clutch. So manual regarding the waterproof, sensorless, brushless speed controller. And we all have these in our arsenal of spare parts. Shock preload mounts or clips. And an instruction manual, nice in colour here. Very nice. So this pretty much is all for parts. And this other little pamphlet here has exploded views of all the separate components and how they get to go and how they go together. So it'll get you out of trouble if you need to put something back together. And what's nice about it, it also comes with a Lipo Charger. These are pretty generic. I've seen these around, but they do the job if you don't have any. 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell Lipo. There's your balance port for 2 cell, and there is your 3 cell balance port. Now here is the included 2.4 gigahertz controller. It does feel quite nice. Good old 4 AA batteries only, which is nice to see. Has an array of buttons here: throttle, dual rate, steering, trim, throttle, trim, and steering dual rate, and a bind button there as well. And you also do get this little bind plug also. Now one thing I found interesting about this controller is you can use it for your left or right-handed, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. I haven't really seen that before. There's a little switch up here. You push, pull forward, and you pull this to the side, and there you go. You can have left or right-handed control. It's pretty cool. So here is the car. It does look very nice, I must admit. One thing I noticed, it has actual bead-like wheels, which for a cheaper kit is nice to see. No more tyres flying off the wheels at high speeds. Now before I show you the actual chassis and the motor, here is the body itself. Pretty standard Lexan. The design is quite nice. Dinosaurs Master. Okay. Here is the chassis, and from first impression it looks quite good. Especially for the value that you get these puppies for, there is nothing really much to complain about. And like the other review I did with a Cheetah, it actually does include a Lipo battery. Very nice to see. So this Lipo is a 7.4 volts, a 2 cell, 4200 milliamp hour, and it is a hard case. A little closer look here, we have a nice internal drive shaft running from front to rear. It has this plastic protective cover on there so nothing can get really stuck in there, rocks and all that. And that also follows through to the front, to the rear. There's a plastic cover here so nothing can get in there as well, which is good. There's a Hobbywing brushless ESC there, paired up with the brushless motor, and it's hugged by this nice green anodized heatsink. Now this setup's pretty familiar. It looks kind of like a T-Max dual spring or shock setup there at the front and the rear, adjustable via those little clips that you slide in there, but the cap here is actually aluminium. Nestled in the front there, it's got a nice aluminium brace to help take some of the impact and to give the front section here a bit of strength. And that also is evident at the back as well. It's just hiding in there. Flipper on her back side, and there is not much, pretty flat chassis, but at least nothing can get really hung up here. Seems that everything is nicely laid out, and they are hex heads, front and rear, nicely countersunk. There's your steering servo underneath, metal gear, which is always good. A nice touch here where they've got this actually rubber grommet to stop anything from progressing in from underneath the car. Here we have our adjustable wheelie bar, which can be adjusted by pretty much pulling it out, and you can just re-clip it into these different holes, into these different bars there, like that, which gives you a different wheelie height, I guess you can call it. Standard steel dog bone drive shafts there. We'll see how that holds up to the punishment. And it also looks like it has some spaces there to extend the wheels outward away from the carriers here, but maybe I don't know if that's just for looks. Handling, not too sure, but we'll definitely try it out and see how it goes. Now the suspension off the bat feels maybe too much dampening, I'm not too sure. Maybe it's not enough spring load here. It kind of sags at the back, but doesn't seem too springy like some of the other cars that I've seen. Actually, it doesn't really feel like there's any oil in the back ones at all. Front ones feels like there's some, but the back ones feel a little bit springy. But anyway, that can be changed, I guess. So that's pretty much it, guys. Everything looks quite nice and set out, pretty good. Don't see any issues with it at all. One thing I noticed, it does have a servo saver nestled underneath there, and it's pretty simple. This seems like foam block can be cut down if you have a longer battery. But apart from that, everything looks quite good, and I can't wait to actually give it a test and see what this puppy can do, especially with the price point and of some of the more expensive alternatives. I will leave a link, like always, where I purchased this from, and if you like the video, give it a good old thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. I will be doing another running video of this very, very shortly and putting it through its paces like I have done with all my other cars, the Cheetah, and most recently the Lossy. I gave that a good thrashing, and I don't really treat them kindly. I want to see how they perform and what they can take before something eventually breaks. So see you next time.